Hello there, welcome to Heart Explained Therapy. Now, I've been given a challenge to a client of mine has asked me to make a video on where does motivation come from. And it was quite difficult because it's a subject that I also struggle with. It is hard to get motivated to do things that are rewarding for yourself. This is the name of the game and life. So when they want me to explain this in a motivational 10-minute video, it's going to be very difficult because I also struggle from it. So I'll explain my experience and my preference to what works for me and hope that this will make sense to you. For me, if you think of any task that you ever have to do, there is certain criteria that gets met for you to perform the task. If you want a job, you need to look for the job, you need to apply for the job, and you've got a chance of getting a negative and positive outcome. This reward factor is, for me, the most significant thing for motivation that you can do. I need you to not consider negative and positive outcomes from whatever your task is. For me, this is where motivation comes alive. I think if you consider that I should join the gym to lose weight, but I hate the way that the world is in that gym and the environment, and it's going to be hard work, you're starting to add reasons not to do it. So the motivation can never grow because you're weighing up a projected outcome of the future. And I suppose you could call this fears and your body trying to keep you comfortable. Now, for me, when I want to complete a task, the less I think about the actual task, the better. And you could say, what is that right there? It is actually motivation, appearing to do something in a more enjoyable sense. You see, at the moment, you have a specific goal and you're trying to get somewhere. Now let's talk about it as if it's a training course that you have to do. If I was to say complete that training course 2 weeks ahead of schedule for £1,000, you have a huge goal and reward to do it. And if it triggers an emotional response in you, if you like money, you will go and do it based on this comfortable outcome for you, and you will do it 2 weeks ahead. If you're not concerned and the fear of the course is worse than the offer of money, then you stay in the demotivated place. So how can we reward ourselves to create the motivation without having to have the outcome actually be a reality? Now, I think it's very simple. It's something that I do all the time, and I think that it makes a lot of common sense. Make light of the energy, of the feature, the element of what you want to do. So let's say I had a training course. Yes, I could spend a long time thinking about the training course and all the reasons I should and shouldn't, or I could just do it. There is no actual difference in the two thought processes, apart from one is saying all the good and bad, and the other is doing. Motivation is actually the act of doing. The thought process before motivation can actually take you off course. Now, you will have an abstract point of view that you actually are right to weigh up all the opinions first. But my theory on this, and I was learnt this by a great philosopher called Alan Watts, he says if you constantly take up every information that you can everything about the process that you're going to take part in, you will always still be making a snap judgment. You will always just be making a decision, yes or no. Toss of a coin, it can land on heads, it can land on tails, and in the rare possibility, it could land on its side. There is probability, there is lots of statistics, but at the end of the day, could you ever really guess which way it's going to land? You could get the toss of the coin landing on heads 10 times in a row, and if you was to say that's a probability now, it's definitely going to be heads because of that sequence, it could land on its side or tails. This is the way that I look at most things now. I understand that my first instinct is to have a fear about the event. I am aware of that fear that doesn't have to exist because I've put it there. I take it away, and not only take it away, make it fun. I make the task light-hearted. I'm currently doing the second year of a degree in psychology and counselling. I have no academic experience. I am really finding it difficult, and sometimes I do put these little barriers in to avoid doing what I need to do. But when I finally do it, I enjoy it. I love it. It's happy. It's a fun thing to do. Everything can be actually translated to this fun part. If your course, job interview, going on a date, going to the gym, all these sort of barriers that you know you want to actually physically do, you need to make them fun. You need to enjoy it. You need to actually fill yourself with the happiness. Because for me, a motivated person is actually quite a content, happy individual. The most motivated people out there seem to have a lot of their emotional desires and needs met. And you can say that it is just a genetic, they're just very good at what they do. Or you could just be honest and say, wow, they get things done. They don't overthink and analyse, and they don't think about all the fears of why they shouldn't do something. You can do anything that you want to do. That's fact. I don't know how anybody can ever argue. If you want to achieve something academically or physically with your body, going to the gym, or a different changing job, or a relationship, or even have the confidence to get a relationship, all these are mental constructs you can learn, experience, adapt, and then live your life. Now, going back to the motivational part, motivation just happens when you're in it and doing it, and then it snowballs. You have to be content with the first part that tells you not to do it. You have to accept that your mind is going to say, wow, I could go to the gym tonight, or I could order a pizza. You know what, I'm going to order the pizza, and then I'm going to feel guilty about ordering the pizza. So when I've got the guilt about ordering the pizza and not going to the gym, what I'm going to do is order a dessert as well, and a nice fizzy drink, and I'll go to the gym next Tuesday, because that makes more sense. And it's all just lies, constant lying to yourself, false lies as well, not really based in any home truths. You have to get content, get at peace, to just stop overthinking life too much, stop taking it so seriously, and then the motivation appears because you're doing it. And when you actually do something, if you think about the past, when you actually applied to do the training course, you didn't think about it, you just looked at it, you just found it, you just stumbled across it. Everything is just like this. You just need to do it. The Nike slogan of just do it is such a great psychological sporting connection, because it is so true. You are just there and you just do. motivation actually doesn't have to really appear anywhere. I would say that it's got less likelihood of being present when your mind is full of all your fears and all the reasons why you shouldn't do something. And in the end, you'll never know until you just do it. So I hope that solves where motivation comes from. In my experience, it appears when you are doing something that you are enjoying, you're happy to do, and the outcome isn't an effect for you. It doesn't matter. I know a lot of psychology at the moment says that you should do more than trying. For me, I just think trying's enough. If you try, then that's got likely to have the opportunity for you to keep trying in the future. And that, in a state where you have struggled in the past and you've had a lot of bad experiences, that's the glimmer of light where motivation can grow. I hope that helps.